Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, and Ned Jarrett with you in the booth. Here's the Everstart Walmart starting grid. Gordon and Benson in the front row. And guys, this place opened back in 1950. It was the first paved super speedway for NASCAR. A lot of drivers back then had a tough time figuring it out. Some of them still haven't figured it out.
Hey, you're right. They had trouble figuring it out at 100 miles per hour, and you can see the speeds they're running today. As they get faster, it becomes more difficult.
This track chews up tires. Tire management is a key factor here at Darlington. You've got to race the racetrack. Don't race the other drivers.
3 drivers missed the field. Derry Cope, Dave Marcus, and Rich Bickle all failed to qualify. It's the second time that each of those drivers has failed to make a field in 1999. Onboard cameras will be throughout the field here this afternoon. On board there with Bobby Labonte, who will be giving up his seat to Matt Kenseth soon. Here's the race analysis. 293 laps, almost a $2 million purse. Well, those tires are going to wear out at least by 60 laps. And the race record is held by David Pearson. Here's Jerry Punch.
Because of the concern over tire wear, NASCAR is considering a possible caution flag around lap 30 if the yellow hasn't flown earlier. Now, that caution flag could play right into the hands of Bobby Labonte if, and I would say if, he could last that long.
We are again battling weather. We did last week at Atlanta, and we have apparently some weather moving in on us. It's a narrow band of showers, however, that if it does occur at all, will only last for a brief amount of time. But that's the reason why we are accelerating the start here this afternoon of the Transouth Financial 400. We had heavy storms overnight about 2:30. Everybody was awakened by thunder and lightning. Let's hope we don't have that level of activity here this afternoon. The field moves out of corner number 4, looking for the green flag in the beginning of this 5th race of 1999. Here we go. Benson looked like trying to challenge on the outside. That isn't the line that he's going to need. He has never led a lap at Darlington. Johnny Benson has not, and he will not lead the first one here. Jeff Gordon will, and Mark Martin will run second.
So it's Kevin LePage trying to make a move on the inside of Rick Maston. Contact between the two.
Boy, that could have resulted in a major catastrophe here on the second lap of the race, but fortunately it did not.
They only had 35 cars right behind them, ready to run over them if they had some kind of problem. Never seen Elliott Sadler, a great qualifying run. And look at Mark Martin coming up and close the gap on Jeff Gordon.
Yes, Martin's car is painted differently this week. They're promoting the Xerox line, Valvoline-owned products.
He was fastest yesterday.
Oh, somebody has a problem. There's a slow car down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Schrader sideways and into the wall.
And there's Earnhardt in the crash. Jerry Nadeau in the crash. That was Rick Mast that was slow on the bottom of the racetrack.
So caution is out. This will be the break that Bobby Labonte looks for.
Looks like that Earnhardt and Nadeau going to be able to pull away. Here's the initial contact between LePage and Mast.
There we see the contact. I wonder if maybe the left rear tire was cut on Rick Mast's car. There we see Mast very, very slow at the start-finish line, trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. Sterling Martin, and we see the smoke out of the back of the car. I don't know what the problem is, but there, Schrader, all of a sudden, it gets too high going in the first corner. Man, he slams the wall, comes across the racetrack with Earnhardt and Nadeau, and it doesn't look like that Earnhardt had a lot of damage to his car.
I think that perhaps Schrader might have gotten some contact from Steve Park, Ned.
I believe he did too, Bob. It looked like because the car just shot all of a sudden up, going around and into the wall.
And from another angle, there's Schrader sideways and up into the outside wall. Then he comes down across the track and there collects Earnhardt and Nadeau.
But Steve Park was way behind Kenny Schrader when he first spun.
He was, yeah. There was not contact between those two.
Yeah.
Let's see what Wally Darling back in the Budweiser onboard camera sees as he's racing with Darrell Walter. Man, he goes in the corner and goes through the smoke, and luckily nothing was there when he got there.
And from the Pennzoil copter cam.
There we see the contact between Steve Park and Kenny. And I guess that is what got Schrader going, as a matter of fact. Bob, good eyes. Those new eyes are working great, aren't they?
Well, I thought I saw it too the first time, and then the next replay didn't show it.
Schrader walking away. Jerry, what was the situation with Rick Mast?
Well, guys, Benny was exactly right. As Rick Mast came out of turn 4 down the straightaway, the left rear tire went flat. He was on the inner liner. He jumped on the brakes, and they began to back up behind him as they split Mast to go around. That's when it all became a jumble in turn 1, and it broke loose with Schrader and others involved. Now Mast brings the car number 98 down pit road, the Burdett Yarborough Motorsports Ford Taurus, and they will change all 4 tires. The left rear tire completely flat. Most of the rubber has been chewed away. He is actually on the inner liner as he sits on pit road. Changing left side tires. Mast and his crew still looking for a sponsorship. A 10th at Daytona, a 16th last week at Atlanta. They were hoping for a great run today. There is some sheet metal damage in the left rear, but now they make sure they get it completely serviced, and he is down and away. Let's check in with John Kernan.
They just got the word 1 lap to go, and Bobby Labonte has decided not to come onto pit road to make the driver change with Matt Kenseth. What they had wanted to do was waited for the field to close up as close as they could, and then they were going to come in. But then they got the word that now it is 1 to go. Bobby says he feels fine. He's just riding around out there. The car feels pretty good. And Matt Kenseth waiting. He will go into the car, in the 18 car, in the next available opportunity. Labonte is hoping to get a caution again soon.
And I think right now, Bobby Labonte is waiting for the rain. As you look over towards turn 3 and 4, it's dark over there. That's where the weather comes in from this area, and it looks like it is going to rain. And if it doesn't, Bobby Labonte made a serious mistake. But right now, I think he's waiting for the rain to make that driver change.
You know that he has to be in pain because of the broken shoulder blade that he suffered on Friday, but he's staying out there as long as he can. Of course, the most important thing was just to start the race and take the green flag, because he will now earn points wherever that car finishes. So we're a half a lap away from getting the green flag and a resumption of the race once again. Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Johnny Benson, Mike Skinner, and John Andretti are the top 5 as they'll get the green flag at the start of lap number 4.
Has to be the start of lap number 6.
Okay.
Our score monitor isn't working properly right now, Bob, so pay attention. Pay attention.
Boy, a tough break for Rick Mast, huh? He had his best start ever here at Darlington, a 6th, but all that is for naught now as he is back at the rear of the field once again.
But he has a good race car and he's very patient. He can get back up through there.
And here we go once again as the green flag comes out.
Tough break for Kenny Schrader, too, in that Skoll Chevrolet. It's been rough luck for that team the past couple of races.
Martin's got to run. But he couldn't make it past that time.
Everybody pretty much in single file through about the first 20, 25 positions. In fact, almost all the way down through the field, we have single file racing. Everybody trying to be patient and take it easy in the first few laps.
There we see Bobby Labonte and Ricky Craven back there.
Jeff Gordon with 5 wins in the last 7 starts at Darlington, leading again, but Mark Martin is right on his bumper.
Right along with Rusty Wallace, the Miller Lite onboard camera as he goes through turn 2. See Jimmy Spencer up there, 2 cars in front of him.
Kenny Wallace just ahead, and for a taste of the race, let's check out some onboard telemetry courtesy of Brian from Rusty Wallace. Down to about 142 miles an hour. Tries to get to the inside of Kenny Wallace, his brother.
Boy, did he have a great run off turn 4, but he could not get past. There we see Jerry Nadeau on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he's going to the pit area after that crash he had on the second lap.
He came down the front straightaway very slow, and he continues to go slow down the backstretch. A lot of damage to his car.
Saw Rusty Wallace on the bottom. You see the brake indicator means that when he goes down the straightaway, he's going to touch the brakes. We'll see how much brake he uses. Really not much, because right now they're holding him up a little bit. He isn't running at top speed.
Here's Jeffrey Bodine, Chad Little, and Dale Jarrett, who is on the move. Jarrett started back in the 21st position, takes the spot away from Chad. Jarrett has won the last two Transouth Financial 400s, looking for his third victory in a row at this race.
Jeffrey Bodine continues his great running in 19. We see some damage to the left front fender there. Let's see what happened. There we see Kenny Irwin, the Haviland Texaco car, going by Jeffrey Bodine. Go down in turn one. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there.
And Bobby Hamilton just goes by both of them.
Jeffrey Bodine has run very well all season long, but his finishes do not indicate that. He's had 3 DNFs out of the 4 races, but certainly does not indicate how well that team, the new team owned by Joe Bessie, has gotten off to a good start in 1999.
Ever see those dark clouds back behind 3 and 4, turns 3 and 4 here at Darlington Raceway, as Elliott Sadler gets a challenge now from Kenny Irwin down the front stretch. Irwin falls back. Follows Sadler.
Meanwhile, up front, it is still Jeff Gordon showing the way over Mark Martin. Johnny Benson is running third, followed by Kevin LePage and Mike Skinner. The top 10, John Andretti, Bill Elliott, Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Burton, and Tony Stewart. And you can see the dark clouds once again that are very close by beyond turns 3 and 4 here at Darlington. But right now the rain is staying away. The race continues, and Jeff Gordon continues to hang on to the lead over Mark Martin.
And he's got himself a pretty good lead, Bob, a little more than a second.
Quite a gap back to second place Mark Martin, and then a huge gap back to third place Johnny Benson.
In fact, it's almost 2 seconds from Gordon back to Martin, and more than 3 seconds back to Benson.
There is Benson running along in third position. And right behind him is Kevin LePage in the 16 car.
So Jack Roush right now has second, third, and fourth. And LePage is getting the challenge from Jeremy Mayfield. And Mayfield, the 12 car, is on the move as he goes underneath LePage and takes that spot away.
31 car of Mike Skinner dropping back just a little bit. He's lost a couple of positions. John Andretti in the 43 and Jeff Burton in the 99, both ahead of him now. And up to challenge Skinner next will be Tony Stewart. Meanwhile, Jeff Burton has his eye set on John Andretti, but no longer. He takes that position away. So that moves Jeff Burton up to 6th place and puts Andretti back to 7th. John has an update on Dale Earnhardt, who was involved in that early crash.
Earnhardt pitted. It was just sheet metal damage. They changed tires, put in some more fuel. But the important thing that was damaged, the grill. The crew says they're going to have to fix that under the next caution. Also, Jerry Nadeau lost several laps on pit road as they fixed the toe out on the right front of that car. Now to the front stretch and Bill Weber.
And they work on the Skull Chevrolet of Ken Schrader, who's talking it over with crew chief Sammy Johns right now. We just got back from the infield medical center. Obviously very distraught. Kenny, what happened?
Something happened up front and everybody started checking up. And Steve, I guess it was Steve Park got in the back of us, but not a lot he could do. I mean, you start running out of room in the back, and got into us, got us turned. Thought we had it gathered up, but didn't make it.
It's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to get it back out the way they're talking. Looks like it's mainly just bolt iron items, but a whole lot of them.
Okay, he's able to smile, but he's very disappointed.
Indeed, he should be after being involved in an incident very early in the race. In fact, on lap number 2.
Good racing going on back in the pack here, Bob, from about 10th to 20th position. There's Bill Elliott, Dale Jarrett, as Dale moves on the inside of Bill. He's been moving up through the pack pretty good. He started 21st, and now up, I think, to about 11th or 12th.
See, Mike Skinner has now dropped back to the 10th spot, and then we see Dale Jarrett going by Elliott to take over the 11th spot.
Jerry, Skinner has lost some positions here recently. What's going on with him?
Bob, everyone made changes this morning anticipating a green racetrack, meaning the car would be very, very tight. But apparently Mike's car is just significantly tight now. The car is pushing up across the racetrack. The Winston Cup points leader started 4th and is now trying to hang on to the 10th spot. When he goes in the corner and turns the steering wheel, he almost has to cross his hands over to get the car to stay. And he's riding right up near the wall, so you don't need to slip much or you'll be right in the concrete.
Skinner off to a great start in 1999, has the points lead, but he has been 26th or worse in all 5 starts here at Darlington and has never finished in the lead lap here.
And I tell you what, he has something very, very valuable to protect, the NASCAR Winston Cup points lead. And that's one reason, as this car is difficult to drive right now, that he's being as careful as he can be.
He's just about to drop out of the top 10. Jarrett is challenging him for that position. Right now, Skinner is holding off the challenge.
He ran that high line. Look at Skinner going up, hoping that bank will help that pushing problem as he comes off the corner. Now Jarrett has a run, but Skinner holds on to the spot. See Michael Walker back there. It's 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Joe Nemechek back at 14th.
While this is going on, Jeremy Mayfield has moved up to 3rd. Johnny Benson has dropped back to 5th.
Well, looks like Jarrett may get him. Once again, Skinner's car skates up the racetrack, and Jarrett is able to pull alongside. And with that inside line going out into turn number 1, will take the 10th position away.
And we see what happens when guys try to race each other going down in turn 1. Almost every time there will be contact between the two cars.
Almost contact between Elliott and the 31 car coming off of turn 4. Elliott had a good run and ran up on Mike in a hurry. But Skinner holds on to the position.
Here comes Nemechek, and here comes Kenny Irwin up. The different lines through turns 3 and 4.
Depending on how your car's working.
Right now, see, Mike Skinner is holding up this group of cars, and that's got all the rest of the cars coming in. Now we see Irwin and Nemechek go in that corner side by side.
And Nemechek gets pinned up against the racetrack behind Skinner, and so he's going to lose at least 2 positions and maybe 3, as here comes Jeffrey Bodine alongside Nemechek. We're on board with Elliott Sadler.
And look at the Elliott. He just barely touched the brakes because they're going so he's not able to run wide open. And Chad Little goes by, and that John Deere car takes a spot away.
Those tires are getting worn now. Those cars beginning to slip around on the racetrack.
Ward Burton also takes a spot away from Elliott Sadler. And here comes Robert Presley. So the Wood Brothers car is not functioning properly.
Here comes the world. It seems like Elliott Sadler's mind. He looks up and there's just an endless string of race cars that will keep going by him. There's Kenny Wallace on the inside, the Square D car. Here comes Ernie Irvin. And also Terry Labonte, and Rusty Wallace will be the next car.
And Johnny Benson continues to drop back. He was running 3rd at one time, but now he is dropped back to, I believe, 8th position.
The 4 car, Bobby Hamilton started back in 17th position, so he is moving forward.
7th and 8th right here, Hamilton and Benson.
Just to give you an idea of how, after the tires are worn, now we've run 32 laps. Jeff Gordon qualified at a lap time of 28.40, 30 something. Right now he's running about 31.50, 3 seconds slower than he qualified.
Which is probably 10, 12 miles per hour average speed slower than he qualified.
Yeah, and he's pulling away from the field.
And here's Jeremy Mayfield taking 2nd position from Mark Martin.
I think Jeremy is the fastest car on the racetrack right now. He has come up through the traffic. Mark didn't fight him, just moved over and let him go. He saw him coming, and he is running very, very strong.
Bill Weber, what's going on with Elliott Sadler, who continues to drop back?
very loose, very, very loose in the middle of the turns and getting into the turns. His car is very loose. They're encouraging him to hang on as hard and as long as he can. They believe there's going to be a caution here in a few laps, perhaps for tires, perhaps for weather.
And it's going to be a question as to which it is for, because it continues to get very, very dark here at Darlington as the black clouds move in. But right now, the race continues under green as 34 of 293 laps have been completed. Jeff Gordon leads Mayfield and Martin. Back at Darlington, South Carolina, as the NASCAR Winston Cup Series rolls on in 1999. It's the Transouth Financial 400, and the Pennzoil Copter Cam is overhead in the very dark skies, and the wind is also beginning to pick up. We understand that rain is very, very close, but maybe it will stay away. We certainly hope so. Mark Martin is now in third position, and look at the new leader. It is Jeremy Mayfield, who caught quickly Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, he came up very quickly on Gordon. He was clicking off about a half a second a lap faster, and then when he caught him, Jeff Gordon just didn't fight him. He saw him coming in the mirror, and he said, I can't hold him off.
And watch, it just pulls away, and that got all everybody in the grandstand on their feet when Jeremy Mayfield went by the Jeff Gordon. We're told that the rain is about a mile away. As a matter of fact, people in the grandstands below us are starting to put on some rain gear. So obviously, I guess there's some raindrops around the speedway.
And the wind has really picked up. It is blowing down the front straightaway and has increased in velocity tremendously in the last few minutes. Here's Mark Martin, who is in third position, and he is being pursued by the 99 car of Jeff Burton. Third and fourth. And up to fifth position from his starting spot of 10th is Tony Stewart.
And the caution flag is out.
And so for the second time this afternoon, the caution comes out. The first was for a crash. This one, we presume, is because of the wind and the rain that is imminent.
Yeah, that wind is blowing in the direction from where the clouds are, and so it looks like it's blowing it in here in a hurry.
We can see as heavy as the wind is blowing, this rain is not going to last long. It's going to come in. If there is rain, it's going to be out of here quickly.
Well, in watching the radar this morning, we told you about the tremendous line of thunderstorms that moved through about 2:30 this morning. The radar indicated there would be another squall line through here sometime this afternoon, but past that, it was all clear. And so this should be a very fast-moving line of storms, and when it is out, then hopefully we'll be finished with the rain for the rest of the day. You can see that there are some clear skies in areas around the track.
And now you know that these guys will pit because it's early in the race, only 42 laps completed. It doesn't matter if it rains or not. They need to get in and get those tires. As a matter of fact, there we see Jeremy Mayfield coming down to the bottom. All the cars on the lead lap will be making pit stops, changing those tires and adjusting those chassis. What a great break for Mike Skinner, Elliott Sadler, several drivers.
Jeremy Mayfield leads them down. Jeff Gordon right behind him. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, Jeremy Mayfield has told his Mobil 1 crew that his car is very good. They don't anticipate any changes here, except, of course, they'll get 4 fresh tires and plenty of fuel. So the right sides will go on. He's come to a good stop, gets a drink. They're telling these guys that the rain, a big swath of it is coming, but then it should clear out. They told Jeremy he's got plenty of room to get out. Jeff Gordon is pitted in front of him. Left side tires going on, bolting on the lug nuts, and Jeremy Mayfield's on his way. He stalls it. He stalled it. Here's Jerry Pine.
Right side and left side tires already on the 24 car. It's a 24, the 6, then the 99 in that order. Routine pit stop down here. And likewise, the crews have been told by NASCAR officials we could expect the bottom to possibly drop out in the next few minutes. Still on pit road, the 31 car. Now Mike Skinner down and away after a major chassis adjustment. Remember, he had a car that was so tight he couldn't drive it. Let's go back to John Kernan.
On the backstretch, Ernie Irvin is in. You get 4 tires, fuel. Also, the car is just a little bit tight, so they've got 1 round up on the track bar. Already the guys pitted on the front stretch have gotten their service and are making their way as Ernie's team has a pretty good stop, but he is back out there. We're still waiting for Bobby Labonte to come on to pit road. They have decided, since everybody else pitted, he'll come in next time by. He stayed out to lead a lap and possibly pick up 5 bonus points.
Plus the fact that that put him at the head of the pack when he comes in, as opposed to back in the pack, gave him a lot more time to make that driver change if they choose to do that. Yeah, Brett Bodine overshot his pits coming in, had to back up, and there Dale Jarrett was coming out of his pits. They were about to collide. Brett still couldn't get in there the way he needed to, but at least they changed the right side tires.
Now we see him coming back in to change the left side tires. Now we see Bobby Labonte's pit crew getting ready for the Interstate Batteries Pontiac to come in.
Brett Bodine back in, Bill.
And you guys saw it and called it, so Brett comes back in for left side tires. It begins to rain harder and harder on the front stretch. Brett heads back out. Remember, pit road will be even more slick now.
And we see the guys putting the tarps on pit road to keep trying to keep those pit areas dry. John Kernan.
Bobby Labonte comes into his pit. He's already got the belts off. The window net is down. Matt Kenseth standing there. They will make a chassis adjustment as Bobby gets pulled from the car. He said he felt all right. Now Matt will go into the car. They'll have to get him belted up, hook up the radio, and make sure that they do not lose a lap as the rain starts to come just a little bit harder right now. But Labonte has gotten out of the car. Kenseth is inside, and they should have no problem getting him strapped up, hooked up, and ready to go without losing a lap.
You see Bobby Labonte look like the pain of him jerking him out of that car. He almost went to his knees when he stood up on pit road. Just the guy almost grabbed him by the shoulder to pull him out of that car. See Earnhardt making the pit stop, and there we see the grill that John talked about.
There is Labonte with the broken right shoulder blade.
Looks like they're going to stop the cars over here on the front stretch as they continue that over there. But those cars that are on pit road, I think they need for them to finish what they were doing before they stop them. But they are bringing them to a very slow crawl, at least over here on the front stretch.
There's Mike Helton, the minister that follows the circuit, talking to Bobby Labonte.
I'm sure it's tough for him to climb out, but with that injury that he received, it kind of makes it easy.
I said Mike Helton. It's Max.
Max, yes.
Helton, the minister.
Mike Helton works for NASCAR.
Yes.
All right, down to Jerry Punch.
And Ned, the reason they're going to stop them right here at the end of pit road is NASCAR has told all the crews to get to your car as quickly as you can with a tarp to cover it. They know this rain may not last very long, but it is expected to be a downpour for just a few minutes, meaning they don't want to get water in the car or in and around the engine compartments. They're going to try to cover them as quick as possible. Let's go back over to John Kernan and talk with Bobby Labonte.
Bobby, very gutsy performance considering the amount of pain. What was it like?
Well, I tell you, they worked on me earlier today, and they got the paint where it was really pretty good. So, just racing the racetrack, that's what we're supposed to do here. So, wasn't really hurting that bad when I got in the car. So, hate to get out, but got to.
So I guess you couldn't shave this morning because you can't get your right hand up, huh?
Nah, I could have worked my left. I really didn't want to, though.
Thanks a lot, Bobby.
We may see a bearded Bobby Labonte here before long. Well, there you can see the tarps have been brought to the cars, and the raincoats are out here at Darlington as at the end of 45 laps, this Transouth Financial 400 is stopped by rain. Rain has brought the activity to a halt here at Darlington. How windy is it? Oh, watch this. Moments ago. Doc, is your umbrella okay?
Last time I saw that much wind, Dorothy and Toto took off for Oz. Well, we are okay. We're back on the ground. Hey, Jeremy, talk about flying. You guys took off in a hurry in this one.
We got a great car. We worked on it really hard yesterday afternoon and got it better. We struggled yesterday morning and really got dialed in happy hour. And got to thank Rusty. He made a good call. He changed shocks yesterday afternoon late. And we gambled to put them on this morning on the front, and so far, so good.
And you opted not to bring the car. You came from the back of the field twice last year with and had top 5 finishes for a different car.
Yeah, I think this is a better car. It's one we run at Rockingham, run real good, and it's kind of our new style car is what we call it, and kind of gambled a little bit, but so far it's paying off.
Now what do? It's raining. The track is wet. You got to go. You're all geared up. You're running great. You get impatient, don't you?
A little bit, you know, that's why we all are. But when you got a great car like that, you can go back to the truck, kind of relax a little bit, knowing you're good. You know, if I was struggling right now, I'd be kind of like in a different mood. I'm in a pretty good mood right now.
Okay, go back and smile with the rest of the team. Jeremy Mayfield, what a great start he had. Came to the front in a hurry. Not many guys can run down Jeff Gordon at Darlington.
But overall, 1999 has not been good to Jeremy when you can compare it with a year ago. A year ago, he was second in points. He's 14th this year. And his average finish this year, 19.5. Last year, it was 6.3. But you just have a feeling that things are going to improve for Jeremy.
Yes, he has run good this year. Just had a little tougher luck than he had at this point last year.
Well, when the rains came, it scattered some people, including the drivers. Here comes Robert Presley running for shelter. But there's very little place you can go from a heavy downpour that is now beginning to fall on the racetrack here in South Carolina. But we'll have plenty more when we return. All right, let's take a look at a Napa field summary and show you where everybody is running here at the break with the weather. It was Jeff Gordon winning the battle off of pit road. That's the reason why he is in front right now. Jeremy Mayfield was the leader before that, but right now they stack up Gordon, Martin, Burton, Mayfield, Stewart, then Andretti, Jarrett Burton, Elliott, and Hamilton, the top 10.
See Jimmy Spencer in 15th there, 16th through 30th. Terry Labonte. All these cars are on the lead lap. Chad Little, Rusty Wallace, Sterling Marlin, Jeffrey Bodine.
And back 31 through 43, the entire field today. And Kenny Schrader still working on his car. Schrader was involved in the crash on the, second lap of the race. They're still working on the car, but right now they can't work on it. Jerry Nadeau also involved in that crash. He's a couple of laps down. And DW just can't get his car up to speed. And Dale Earnhardt right now is the guy in 40th place.
Jerry's with Tommy Baldwin.
Well, Tommy from 28th at the start to 8th right now. We knew this car would be able to make a move to the front in a hurry. We saw what the same car did at Las Vegas. Now, tell me about that pit stop. How long did it take you? 4 tires and gas?
That was a 16:10 stop. We struggled a little bit on Sunday at Atlanta, and we were losing a couple spots per stop. And we practiced every day all week, and it showed today.
16:10, and for those of you who may not know, that is a great pit stop for 4 tires. Now, the rain. How will this change the track, and how will you adjust the car?
Well, I think it's just pretty much going to put it back the way we started today. The track started to tighten up a little bit in the center of the corner, and which is making the car start to get loose off. So I think we're going to try to go back to our regular adjustments that we started the race with and work from there.
The run at Las Vegas, I came to your shop that next week. I've never seen so many smiling faces. That really has done a lot for the entire Caterpillar team.
Yeah, it was a big boost for everybody. You know, I was telling everybody all winter long that we're capable of doing it, and we finished second in Las Vegas, and everyone now knows we can do it. And it's brought a lot of momentum along with the team, and every Sunday we're going into these races, no matter where we're starting. When we know we can get to the front now, brought a lot of confidence to Ward. On Sunday, he knows he's got a good enough car. He can take his time. He doesn't need to beat and bang on his way up to the front. And it's just been a good deal so far.
Hey, good luck when the rain ceases.
Yeah, hopefully. Probably Monday, though.
Oh, no, don't jinx it. No, it's gonna quit here after a while. Tommy Baldwin excited about what may be a day for the Burtons, not just Jeff, but also Ward. What about Dale Jarrett? Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, let's find out from his crew chief, Todd Parrott. You want to talk about your pit stop, too, don't you? 16, what'd you say?
16:06 is what we had in the pits, and I guess Brad overshot his pits and had to back up, and we got held up a little bit and still picked up a position. So the guys had an awesome pit stop. The car looks like it's pretty good, too. Come from 21st to 7th in a hurry. So we were pretty optimistic after yesterday's last practice. Like I told you this morning, any time that we're in top 5 in happy hour, there's either something terribly going to be wrong or we're going to be awfully good. And the guys have worked hard in the engine room, the chassis department, everything. And things got some motor in it. It'd go down that straight away.
Now, I asked you this morning what you did to the car, and you told me a very technical explanation, little things.
Little things, you know, little things add up to be big things in this sport. And, you know, we made a few track bar changes and a little bit of bike, air pressure, and car seems to be pretty good. A little bit free right now, but we made an adjustment that ought to put us right where we need to be.
I want to take it back to last week for just a moment. Dale Jarrett got held on pit road for speeding. Didn't lose a lap, basically because you guys had a lightning quick pit stop that time when you really needed it.
Yeah, you know, the guys have been awesome in the pits all year long. You know, we've had a few inconsistent stops, you know, where the lug nut falls off, something like that. But, you know, things like that you just can't help. But last week, you know, at the time that we needed a bad, fast pit stop, they give us one. And it kept us from getting a lap down. And, you know, we managed another top 5 last week. So I want this rain to go away because we got something for them.
Yeah, and you've won 2 in a row here in this race, so 3 would be nice, right?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And we're optimistic this rain will go away and we will be able to complete the Transouth Financial 400 this afternoon here at Darlington. Now back up to the warm, dry broadcast location.
Nice and dry and warm up here, Billy. Well, Jared is 9 positions better in 1999 in the point standings than last year. But look at Mike Skinner, who is 29 better. He was 30th in points last year at this time. And, of course, Skinner is the points leader at this moment in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Rain continues to fall, but we're hoping it's a short and brief interruption. Back in a moment. NASCAR Winston Cup Transouth Financial 400 back underway after a long rain delay, and because of that, the National Car Rental racing to the Kentucky Derby Gotham Stakes, which was supposed to be on at 4:30 Eastern Time here on ESPN, can now be seen on ESPN2. Please switch over to the Deuce to see that event. We're going to stay with live coverage of the Transouth Financial 400. It's a great race out there right now. It is Jeremy Mayfield showing the way, but by just a couple of car lengths over Jeff Burton, as the overhead shots come to you courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam.
And Jeff Gordon has caught these guys back as they battle for the lead. Yeah, there you see him come into the picture.
Oh, using all that racetrack right up against that outside retaining wall. Jeff Gordon trying to take a look on the inside of Burton. That takes a spot away. Moves in the second spot.
Just a few laps ago, Jeff Gordon made an absolutely breathtaking move that only indicates how great a race driver he is. Look at this, coming out of quarter number 2.
Had the momentum, a couple of cars running side by side. He just whips down on the inside, Tony Stewart, and who's that, Brett Bodine, and moves right past him. Didn't look back, said, see.
They're the top 3, Mayfield, Gordon, and Jeff Burton, running back in 4th position, about a second and a half behind is Tony Stewart, and Dale Jarrett runs in 5th.
One reason these drivers are driving a little bit harder now than they want to, the dark clouds are coming back up in turns 3 and 4. And this race is only about 35 laps from being halfway point. If it gets to halfway and rains, it's probably over. And that's one reason Jeff Gordon right now is probably trying harder than he would. He realizes he needs to get in front in case there is rain at the halfway point.
The 31 car of Mike Skinner, after losing a lap, running down in 38th position, has decided to come in. Doc?
Well, they had nothing to lose, Bob. The car just not handling, got a severe problem with the car being loose entering the corner. Pushes up across the racetrack as he exits the corner, and the Winston Cup point leader, who has never had very good luck here at Darlington Raceway, brings that car down pit road. In 5 previous runs, he has never finished better than 26 here now. Larry McReynolds led Lowe's crew, changing right side tires. They clean the windshield, get it full of fuel, and now he and other drivers are being told by some of the crew chiefs there is a possibility that rain is 15 to 20 minutes away. He is down off the jack and away.
Skinner coming out of the pits quickly. Here is Jeff Gordon now putting a lap on Jerry Nadeau. Bobby Hamilton is continuing to march forward. He just takes the 7th position now away from Mark Martin.
Elliott Sadler's in the pits. Earnhardt goes a lap down. He is running in 32nd position.
Jeff Gordon gets a run off the corner. He gets alongside Earnhardt. Next car right in front of these cars would be Ted Musgrave, the Polaris Ford.
And some leaders coming in, 99 and 88, are heading for the pits.
Wow.
Here they come, making sure they get down below 45 miles an hour as they enter pit road. Here on the front stretch, Burton leading Dale Jarrett down. Another car making a pit stop is Brett Bodine. They go to work on the right side of the Quality Care Ford down to Bill Weber.
And basically, this is a short pit situation. Yes, you want to run 400 miles, but these guys are racing the Transouth Financial 200 right now. Jeff Burton and his crew talked about making corrections for a long run. Instead, they're going to set the car up for a short run. 99 is away. DJ will not beat him out of pit road. So it'll be 99, 88, 2 quick pit stops. The 20 heading down pit road now.
Robert Presley is in.
Tony
Ward
Stewart.
Burton is in.
A lot of guys coming down pit road now. Right side on the 20 car, beating the windshield. The 28 on pit road, the 94. Also, Ward Burton is on pit road. Terry Labonte is on pit road. He's had a good run. They're around to the left side on Tony Stewart's car. They continue to clean the windshield. The 22 is away. The 20 is away. Jeffrey Bodine is on pit road. the windshield on his car, putting fuel in. Basically, by the fast guys stopping, when they did, they forced the hand of some of these other teams. Jeff Bodine getting his left side tires. The 28 zipped past him on the right-hand side. Now the 60 car is off pit road and away, followed by Terry Labonte and the 55, and here come more of the leaders down pit road.
Mayfield and Gordon both decide to make their pit stops here on the 116th lap. Here they are making their way down pit road.
This is going to be a classic duel between pit crews, getting about 12 people besides the drivers involved. Jeremy Mayfield comes in. Bill?
You talk about races being won and lost on pit road. This race might be won or lost right here. Mayfield slides to the stop. Right side tires going on. Jerry.
Air pressure adjustment, no other changes. Watch the Rainbow Warriors. They want to get out in 16 flat. Back to Bill.
Mayfield's been a little tight off of turn 4. An air pressure adjustment to fix that. He's away. Jerry.
Left side tires, lug nuts. Here goes Gordon. Gordon leaving the pits. Here comes Mayfield. It'll be 24, then 12, 16.1. What a pit stop.
The Rainbow Warriors got the job done. Mayfield, however, passed him.
Yeah, he had the momentum as he was pitting further down pit road, so he came out, and we'll see where that puts him in relations to others. Bill, back to the pits.
Now the STP Pontiac slides to his stop on pit road. These guys had to be very careful. Pit road still very wet from the rain we had earlier. Right side tires for John Andretti. Now they come around to the left side as the pace quickens here on pit road. Again, these cars racing each other, racing the track, and now racing the weather. Fuel is in, a little bit longer on the left side, but John Andretti now continues in the race. And the 18 hits onto the back stretch, and John Kernan is in those pits.
Matt Kenseth is in for a 4-tire change. They'll also make a chassis adjustment on the right side cars. It's a little bit tight. Left side tires going on. Brand new sticker tires going on. One left side. He's down and away. A great pit stop for this Joe Gibbs Racing crew.
And when all these pit stops are through, Jeff Burton is going to be the leader of this race.
Here's Jimmy Spencer and Ted Musgrave. 75 car is the leader, but he has not made a pit stop. So when he does, as you indicated, Ned, it will be Jeff Burton at the front of the field with Dale Jarrett running in second position. We'll be right back. When we took the break, Ted Musgrave was the leader, but not anymore. He's made his pit stop, and that has put Jeff Burton in the lead with Dale Jarrett running second, Jeremy Mayfield third, Jeff Gordon fourth, Tony Stewart in the fifth position. The Gotham Stakes, part of the National Rental Car Racing to the Kentucky Derby, is over on ESPN2. It was supposed to be here on ESPN. However, because we had almost a 3-hour rain delay, it has forced us to put the Gotham Stakes over on the Deuce. That's where you can see it right now. We'll continue to cover for you this Transouth Financial 400. 123 laps completed. The halfway distance is 147, and there are some dark, ominous clouds on the horizon. Here's a battle for 7th position. Ward Burton in the 22 and Bobby Hamilton in number 4. Bill Weber, what's the strategy at this point with the dark clouds around?
Well, Bob, it varies for a bunch of different teams, but Benny and Ned, what these guys are doing now is they're being told, don't worry about saving your tires. Right now, you have to run this like it's to lap 148. Go, go, go. It's no more race the track, no more save your tires. Right now, they are clearly racing to halfway. Interesting change here at Darlington.
On board with Wally Dallenbach. He's running back in 29th position, a lap down. Ward Burton coming up to try to pass him. Ward running in 7th. And once again, the Bill Davis team with Ward Burton having a very, very good race. Ward started this race back in 28th position and was quickly in the top 10 and now finds himself in the 7th spot.
He's about 12.5 seconds behind his brother, Jeff Burton, who is leading this race.
Ward is in the top 10 in points for only the first time since Sears Point in May of 1997. There's brother Jeff, who's at the front of the field, now almost 1 1/10 second ahead
And
Jarrett.
look at this traffic that he's coming up on. He got by a couple of them there pretty easy, but boy, was that heavy, Benny.
I'm telling you, and you will see Benson right in front of him. There's Buckshot Jones, Jimmy Spencer, all these cars wanting to stay in the lead lap. Also right behind him, Kevin LePage, the Prime Star car, wanting to get a lap back. And here comes Dale Jarrett, so he can't take it easy. He has to run hard to stay in front of Jarrett.
DJ has been picking up about 1/10 of a second a lap on him since they came out of the pits. He got about 2 seconds behind, and now it's down to 85/100ths of a second.
Jarrett has won the last 2 Transouth Financial 400s. Now Buckshot Jones is already 2 laps down. However, the car that's trying to stay on the lead lap is Johnny Benson there in the yellow Cheerios car. He started second and is back in 21st, the last car on the lead lap. We understand that Buckshot Jones came into this race also with the flu, as has been the case with Mark Martin. And he had Todd Bodine standing by to possibly relief drive, but Buckshot staying in the car. And that's how close Benson is to going a lap down.
And we're going to see these 2 cars in front of him, Jimmy Spencer and Johnny Benson, run as hard as they can to stay in front. What happens if the caution flag should come out? The pace car goes out and gets in front of the 99 car. These 2 cars in front, the 23, 26, are able to go all the way around and make up 1 mile and 3/8, and that's what they're trying to do.
Check out an AutoZone on-track interval here.
And we see the times we're back again with those fresher tires. We're back to almost 30 seconds flat. But each lap, Jeff Burton has been much slower than Dale Jarrett, so it's obvious that he gained almost 3/4 of a second.
And Jeremy Mayfield, he's in 3rd position. He's 3.79 seconds behind. Now, Jeff Gordon was over 7 seconds behind. Right now, he's cut that down to 5.4, so Gordon is very, very fast.
And there goes Johnny Benson. He gets by Spencer and almost loses it right in front of his teammate, Jeff Burton, but he gets it under control. Burton dives down to the inside.
That's all it took for Benson to lose a lap. Just a little loose coming out of the corner, and boom, he's a lap down.
Now, DJ right now has 2 Roush cars that are lapped down right between him and the leader.
Ernie Irvan has had an impressive run, especially when you consider the fact that he is pitting on the backstretch. Ernie Irvan is in 9th position.
And we see Chad Little going by. Also Ricky Rudd. There comes Ernie Irvan along. Bill Elliott right behind him. Bill in 10th spot. I'll tell you, the last 3 races, Ernie Irvan, the M&M's car, has been very, very impressive.
Did not qualify well, but is racing well. John Kernan.
Ernie started 37th, now moved up into the 9th position. The last pit stop right in that 17-second range, of 4 tire change. They also made a chassis adjustment because the car was just a little bit tight, so they loosened it up a little bit. And Ryan Pemberton, his crew chief, said, now Ernie, go for it. And he's already picked up 3 positions since the pit stop. So Ernie Irvan is on the move, running lap times nearly as fast as the leader.
And there is Bill Elliott with 19 top 5 and 30 top 10 finishes here in 42 starts, running right behind Ernie Irvan. Back up front, meanwhile, it is on the far left of your screen. Jeff Burton, the leader of the race. Couple of lap cars between him and 2nd place Dale Jarrett. Here's Jarrett moving to the inside of Benson.
And with these drivers running into this lap traffic, Jeff Gordon has cut his deficit down to less than 4 seconds. Of course, he'll have to pass that same traffic.
Look at that statistic. Has led 70% of 1998 Darlington laps, 468 of 660, but no wins. There's a 12 for Jeremy Mayfield.
He's 3rd. And he is 2.72 seconds behind the leader. And then Jeff Gordon, as you saw, was pretty close to him, 3.55 seconds.
There is Jeff Gordon, who is running in 4th position, about 3.5 seconds back. Jerry?
Some of the weather people in the area that basically work for different teams have come in and told some of the folks here in the Hendrick 24 pit that the weather, the rain, is about 11 miles out. Rick Hendrick just told me that they have basically now told Jeff Gordon the tire conservation theory is over. Go for it. First one to 147 will win.
And we're going to make it to halfway in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So these guys do need to have to run as hard as they possibly can, because it doesn't appear as though this race is going to run 400 miles.
Dale Jarrett just lost about a second to to Jeff Burton, as he's trying to get by Jimmy Spencer and slipped coming off of turn 2 and got way behind him.
On board with the 5th place car of Tony Stewart. He started 10th and has gained half the positions he needs.
Right now, Tony is 8.72 seconds behind the leader.
There's Mark Martin running the Xerox colors this weekend for only this one race. He is in 6th position.
He's 10.2 seconds behind.
Next car back is the, never see the 4 car, Bobby Hamilton. Kodak Film to Chevrolet.
He's 12.2 seconds behind.
As Elliott Sadler watches him go by. Never see Ward Burton, the Caterpillar car, back in 8th spot. He's 15.25 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Burton.
That's not quite a half a lap.
Mike Skinner goes by. Mike Skinner's 30th spot, 1 lap back for the leader of the 1999 Worcester Cup point standings. Ernie Irvin in 9th spot, started 37th. Good run, Ernie.
And the 28 car has just moved up into the top 10. A few laps ago, Bill Elliott was running in 10th spot, but since that time, Kenny Irwin in the 28 car has moved into 10th, and there you see Bill Elliott running back there in 11th position. And the 18 car of Kenseth is up to 12th.
He is doing a masterful job at driving that race car. Remember, he had to spend the change driver, he had to start at the rear of the pack, and now he's up to 12th.
Man, what a job he is doing. Let's watch Matt Kenseth when he goes down in turn 3. Goes in the corner, turns it. That's what we're talking. Turns it. No, he's not pushing very much, because he's going back to the right, a couple of times, catching the back end of that car as he goes through the corner.
Now the guy that's right behind him is Bill Elliott, and he is the driver that Matt substituted for at Dover last year when Bill's father died. And Kenseth took Elliott's car to a 6th place finish after starting 16th in his only NASCAR Winston Cup start. Bill Elliott with a pretty impressive record here at the track too tough to tame. 5 wins and 30 top 10 finishes.
Now right now, that 18 car of Kenseth is 25.7 seconds behind, so he's really only about 5 seconds from going a lap down, or 6 seconds. There are 19 cars on the lead lap. Sterling Marlin is the last car on the lead lap. Jimmy Spencer was the first of those 1 lap down.
Jeffrey Bodine and Ted Musgrave. That's not for position. Musgrave is a lap down. Jeffrey is in 14th spot. But meanwhile, right back there is Robert Presley and Terry Labonte and Steve Park. All these cars battling for 15th, 16th, 17th.
It's now 5 o'clock Eastern time, and again, for those of you who have tuned into ESPN for something else, in this case, the LPGA Standard Register Ping Tournament, you can switch over to ESPN2 and see that right now. We're going to stay with our coverage of this Transouth Financial 400 until its conclusion, whether it's a number of laps or rain. And when we do conclude this event, then the women's golf will come back to ESPN.
And Steve Park made that move. Robert Presley got up behind it and almost bought the concrete.
That was coming off of turn 2. He did really have a anxious moment there.
Well, we are what? 3 laps away from being an official race. The halfway point is 140. You can see how dark the skies are back there. The halfway point is 147, so they'll have to run 148. And, oh boy, this does not look good. But we are to that almost to the halfway point, so that's the good news. Would be nice if we could finish this whole distance, but doesn't look like that Mother Nature is going to cooperate with us on this Sunday afternoon.
And Jeff Burton is just pulling away from Dale Jarrett. He now has built it up almost to a 3-second lead. At one time, Jarrett had cut it down to about a half a second, but Burton got through that traffic and took off.
You see Terry Labonte trying to get underneath Jeffrey Bodine. Can't do it. You see a snapshot of Jeffrey, 28th in points. Currently running 14th. There we see Labonte.
Again, Jeffrey Bodine has had good runs in 1999 with this new team, but 3 of 4 races he has DNF. There's the halfway point. Now we need one more for it to become official race, and I think we're going to make that.
But we've already made it, because if they come down to take the checkered flag, they will run one more lap. So
that's right.
Steve Park going on the inside of Jeffrey Bodine, taking away the 15th spot.
There's Kyle Petty in the car number 44, also passing Bodine.
There's Frankie Stoddard. He's looking at the sky and saying, okay, open up anytime.
Yeah.
Bill Weber has more.
Yeah, he also keeps calling up to his spotter and saying, is it raining up there yet? Is it raining up there yet? Start doing your dance. Start doing your dance. All the spotters relaying to their crews what the weather conditions they can see from high above the track. It is very breezy, temperature dropping, and very dark over the main grandstand here.
The 77 car of Robert Presley just lost a lap. 17 cars remain on the lead lap as Jeff Burton continues to show the way here with a battle between Mayfield and Dale Jarrett for second spot, and Mayfield takes it away. Oh, you saw some lightning back there too. And another team that wouldn't mind seeing the caution come out right now for rain is the 18 car, John.
Last lap by, Matt Kenseth radioed in and said the car's a little loose. I'm a little hard on the right rear tire. So guys, he's running in 12th right now. Everybody else down here is waiting for the rain to start. Matt said, next pit stop, let's tighten this car up just a little bit. Jimmy Makar smiled, a wide smile from ear to ear, and said, okay, got you, Matt. You want more bite on the next pit stop.
Matt is thinking about going the full distance here this afternoon. He's having such a great run out there, and Bobby Labonte is obviously very pleased with the performance of young Matt Kenseth, substituting for Bobby, who broke his right shoulder blade in a bush crash earlier this weekend. Right now, the question is it going to rain in the next few minutes? It apparently is close, but still not raining. The overhead copter cam, Pennzoil copter cam, shows you the leader, Jeff Burton, who has a 2.69 second lead on Jeff Gordon, who has moved to second, Jeremy Mayfield third, then Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin. Jerry Punch.
Well, that time by, we were able to feel just a few drops of moisture from the clouds down here entering turn 1. We're at the far end of pit road, down in the 24 pit, and there's a very, very dark cell right above the racetrack. Some of the darker stuff is circulating around behind the racetrack. I hope we get lucky, but we did feel a few drops last time by.
And one of the big problems, although it isn't really reflected here on our coverage because our cameras are able to keep so much light in them, but it is really dark.
It's very difficult looking out our window to see the cars as they go down the backstretch. But we have a monitor we can watch as we see Jeremy Mayfield, third place car, 12 car, trying to go on the inside of Sterling Marlin. And there's the 88 of Dale Jarrett. He's in fourth spot. 40 car is a lap down.
Sterling is in 18th position in the 40 car, Sterling Marlin.
And the 25 car, Wally Dallenbach, looks like he has lost an engine. Or is that the left rear tire that's flat? The engine is running. We see it's turning 4,500 RPM, so it may be the left rear tire is flat.
I think you're right, Benny.
Wally back in 35th position, 2 laps down.
And we see the left rear fender back there where the tire is flat is beating the sheet metal around on that left side. Tough break.
John Cannon is there as Wally comes in his backstretch pit.
And Bob, I saw it when he came down the backstretch. It looked like the left rear tire was flat. And now as he comes into his pit stall and rolls to a stop, yes indeed, the left rear tire is flat. And they will go to work on the right side. Wally, who had started out the season with 3 great runs, but then a disappointing run last week, he just told us, crew, man, this is unbelievable. Now they're on the left side. The left side tires coming off, now going on. And you can see where he's just on the inner liner as the whole tread, now the tread that came off the tire is wrapped around the rear wheel. Up in the rotor, and now they've got a cut brake line, they say. So Wally will have to be really careful when he goes out. Now they'll take that left rear tire back up, and they'll try and flip off that, close off that left rear brake line. And you can see the fluid down on the ground, and now they're working on it. And, oh man, just a bad break for Wally Dallenbach's crew.
Meanwhile, we understand there is raindrops being felt on the backstretch. Here is Jeff Burton coming up on the 9 car of Jerry Nadeau.
We see Steve Park, and there we see some rain in the puddles. The wind is blowing, and the fans are
Had trouble here.
trouble.
A big wreck.
Kenny Irwin is involved. Jerry Nadeau is running right ahead of Jeff Burton is involved, and Jeff, I believe, is also, is he not? It looks like, I think the front of his car is all messed up.
The 99 car, the right front tire is going
Yes.
the wrong way. He's made contact with someone.
Yes, he has.
But the caution flag is out. Will it run 45 miles per hour? Because there is some rain.
And still some activity here on the front stretch. Ernie Irvin becomes involved.
I think he had spun coming off turn 4. And there we see Jeff Burton with that right front wheel towed out 3 or 4 inches. Bill Weber.
It is towed out. They're telling him stay on the racetrack, stay on the racetrack. The reports say this rain is here to stay. Jeff Burton very, very upset and frustrated, but did take the caution. They continue to talk to him, but the car is towed out.
Wow,
Well,
can you believe this?
He wants this race to end now. He wants a downpour with no chance of getting the track dry. And if it did come a downpour, there probably wouldn't be a chance to get it dry.
And you can see it is raining pretty doggone hard. There is Kenny Irwin, whose car was very badly tore up in this accident here on the front stretch, along with the Ricky Craven car. We understand that Jeff Gordon might have also become damaged in that incident.
But look at the rain. Look at the rain on the screen. And Jeff Burton is saying, please throw this red flag. Throw this red flag. And Jeff Gordon has almost the same damage to the right front of his car.
But right now the yellow flag is waving, not the red, so they're going to continue to run under caution here for maybe a few laps to see whether or not this rain continues. Here's the replay.
That's Jeff Burton, and the wreck has started. The wreck has started. There we see Burton gets in the back of Jerry Nadeau. He goes up and smacks the wall. And I guess that's where he did the damage to the right front.
Yep, I would say so. He didn't hit anything after that, so I'm sure when his right front wheel hit that wall, here we'll see it again.
This is from our Pennzoil copter cam. There is a wreck that's going to happen right in front of these guys. And there, yes, Burton hits that wall hard.
There's Irvin up against the outside wall. Kenny Irwin down toward the inside, and Craven, and Jeff Gordon hits Nadeau.
Jerry Nadeau slides down and just barely. And the 12 car, I think, got by Jeff Gordon, and maybe the 88 car.
I'm sure the 12 car did. I'm not sure when they got to start-finish line if the 88 was in front of the 24 or not. It's showing on the screen that he is.
Well, this is the beginning of the crash. Oh, look at the hard contact that Kenny Irwin has.
It's Ernie Irvin that spun coming off turn 4. And I guess, is that the Craven car that tried to dodge Ernie, and he made contact with.
And Frankie Stoddard is saying, look at those clouds.
Look at that rain. He's become a weatherman all of a sudden.
Well, they're going to bring him down pit road, it would appear, while they clear the debris here on the straightaway. And boy, that car is a mess.
It's not going to make many more laps under caution.
No, it's not at this speed.
And the rain continues to fall. Bill is with Buddy Parrott.
And he's with Jack Roush. They've run down, Frank Stoddard has run down to his car. Buddy, obviously, you timed it out almost perfectly. How badly is that car torn up?
That car is tore up, man. It's got the right front knocked off of it, and he's already broke the interliner. I mean, the interliner's gone down on the tire. So, the good Lord willing, we're going to win this race. If he, that's just all I can say. And it looks like it's coming down. Doesn't it feel good?
Well, they had to keep that car running until NASCAR put out the red flag. Jeff Burton obviously thrilled with the situation that the race has been stopped. Not very happy with the incident that brought out the caution. And they were doing rain dances down here. They had excellent strategy. I got to tell you, they were calling out his lap time. He gets a hug from his crew chief, Frank Stoddard. They went ahead and decided to make, well, the car is overheating, and it was actually overheating earlier before they pitted, and that problem went away. That was one reason Jeff could not run in traffic. But they really used some excellent strategy, as did some other teams here on pit road, and then they got a huge break from the weather. They almost got a terrible break with that wreck. What a sport.
Here's a situation. If the track is wet, there is no way they can restart this race because it's going to take about an hour or an hour and a half to dry the track, and we'll be completely dark by then.
Yes.
So we are just sort of waiting here for the track to get completely wet to the point where they cannot possibly get it dry again before it sets in with darkness. And what an interesting closing couple of laps.
Very bizarre situation.
And it's been that way all weekend, Ned. Since you and I got here on Friday, and we saw all those Busch cars crash, and then Bobby broke his right shoulder blade. It's just been a really bizarre, but in some ways a very typical weekend for Darlington.
Well, Darlington, you come to expect the unexpected. You just don't know what's going to happen next, and that's the reason they call it the track too tough to tame, because you never know what's lurking around the next corner.
There is the badly damaged car of Kenny Irwin, who along with Ricky Craven and Ernie Irvin were involved in this crash here on the front stretch that has made the end of this race very, very interesting, or at least the possible end of this race. We have completed 164 of the 293 laps, so we're well beyond the halfway point. Jeff Burton hopes it's over. ESPN welcomes you back to the Transouth Financial 400, being brought to you by Citgo. You know a neighbor when you see one. By Ford, maker of vehicles that are built to last. And by Hot Wheels Racing, the hottest NASCAR die-cast collectibles. Well, we're under, once again, red because of rain. Let's go down to Dr. Jerry Punch.
First of all, Jeff Burton, that incident just a moment ago out of turn 4, it's hard to see. I mean, what was your involvement?
I saw the wreck, and I got slowed down, but there must have been something on the racetrack because I got slowed down, and it just kept going straight and hit the wall pretty hard. It's tore all to heck. Wasn't like I ran up on it, was surprised by it. I saw it. They wreck off turn 4. I slowed down, went to turn, and it just went straight. And so I don't know if I got out of the groove. It was so dark. It was getting so dark you couldn't see. So it's possible I was out of the groove. I don't know. But, you know, we're praying for rain pretty hard. The XI4 is really fast, but it's tore up bad now. So if it doesn't rain, we'll finish last. And if it does rain, we'll win.
Well, that might be justice, though, considering what you told us earlier today when you said, you know, you've led the most laps here a number of times, dominated Darlington, but never been able to go to victory lane. It might be appropriate to take a car that looks like it has been beaten by a sledgehammer over to victory lane.
Well, there's a lot of daylight left, and I'm not the most optimistic person all the time, so I don't know what the radar looks like. Time's certainly not in NASCAR's favor. We've got to dry the track, and that's going to take a while. So if we can just get this rain for the next 20 minutes or so, then we'll probably be okay.
I heard you say just before that caution came out to your crew chief, Frankie Stoddard, that the track was getting cold and losing grip.
Well, you never know if it's a track or the tires. You know, here it's so abrasive on the tires. This is a new tire for Goodyear. It's a really good tire. It's got great tire wear, but it eats them up so bad. The racetrack eats them up, and I thought we were getting a little better grip right there for the last 5 laps. The car started feeling better, and Frank did a great job, made some calls during that caution when we pitted and beat everybody out. Great pit stop. I got in on off pit road good, and he got the car perfect. And you you know, if we lose because of this, then we lose because of this. But we had the car we needed to have.
Indeed. I saw your teammate Mark Martin come over and give you a hug a moment ago and say he must think the radar looks pretty bad because he was coming over to congratulate you prematurely.
Well, I'm lucky to have Mark Martin as a fan, so he's wanting it to rain for me. That's you know, it's special to have a teammate like that.
All right, we'll hang here and see if we get any word from NASCAR. Let's check in with Bill Weber, who's hanging by with Kenny Irwin.
And it's a disgusted Kenny Irwin. You've been standing here shaking your head. What happened?
You know, I've been thinking about what I was going to tell you, but, you know, the 36 car just lost it off turn 4, and that just started it. I tried to go under him. Well, when I did, the 58 come down, and he didn't have anywhere to go either. Everybody was just trying to clear the 36 when he spun, so just a bad deal because, you know, we're probably going to end up in the top 10, which is what we needed today.
Was it wet out there, Kenny, when that started? Do you know?
No, it wasn't. I mean, it had just started to sprinkle, but I mean, everybody was on old tires, and I think that was the cause of when he spun.
Okay, sorry it had to happen. You had a good run going. Best of luck next week.
Thanks.
Let's get down to John Kernan.
Standing alongside Bobby Labonte and his crew chief, Jimmy Maycar, and right now, Bobby's relief driver, Matt Kenseth, sits in the 10th position. Not too shabby, huh, Bobby? He's done a good job for you.
Oh yeah, well, you know, when we picked him Friday afternoon or Friday morning, that was we thought he'd do a great job, and he's done a great job. And the car was a little tight for him when he got in it, and made adjustment, got a little bit loose. So if it does dry off, we'll try to get him between that.
What about next week? I would imagine the same scenario. You guys going to chat with Matt again to see if he can help you out next week?
Well, we're going to take it one day at a time. You know, it's only Sunday, so we're going to go to work Monday in rehab and do some stuff all week next week if we can until Friday gets here, and then we'll kind of evaluate it and see where we're at. But at least running a few laps this morning or this afternoon helped out. Got me where it didn't really feel all that bad. Better than I thought it'd be. So that relieved a lot of pressure on my mind, I think, just knowing that I got back in there and I felt a lot better with it.
Well, a lot of people are hoping for the rain to continue, but we swing over here to Jimmy Maycar, and you say, hey, let's go back racing again. Aren't you satisfied with 10th place?
I don't think racers are ever satisfied. You know, we got a good race car. Matt's doing a real good job for us. I think we obviously got a better car than what's shown on the scoreboard. He's had to come from last all the way to 10th, and like Bobby said, I think if we make one more adjustment to the car, I think he can run in the top 5 with it with no problem. So it's good for him. I just like to see him get to run a few more laps. Obviously, anything can happen if you get back out racing again, but I think he's having a good time. We're having a good time with him, and it's been a lot of fun. Like to have Bobby Labonte in that race car, obviously, but I think we can gain a little bit if we go back racing.
Believe it or not, probably the only people here who want to run some more laps today.
Well, if they don't, Matt has certainly a lot to be proud of because he has, as was indicated, driven that car up to 10th place. Well, here is the bizarre happenings as the red flag was about to come out.
Ernie Irvin, we haven't seen him spin yet, but he's up in front of this accident. And all of a sudden, Jeff Burton's right. The car just veered directly to the right. That was Jerry Nadeau down there, Ricky Craven, and the 28 car, Kenny Irwin, also on the inside. I guess Kenny Irwin probably had more damage than anyone, although this 99 car is torn up pretty good.
We can see the 99 go under Mike Skinner. He makes that pass okay, and then the car just shot straight up into the wall.
Yeah, it's like there was oil or moisture or something on the racetrack, and you know, Bill, one of the reporters down there said that Ernie thought that he might have hit something. There we see the 24 car of Jeff Gordon going down making some contact.
And Buddy Parrott and Jack Roush celebrate the beginning of the rain because they, of course, maintain the lead at this point. However, if we have to go back to racing, they are in big trouble because they've got a very badly damaged race car. Jerry, we got some official word.
They are celebrating down here as the rain clouds open up, and Jeff Burton, you have won the 43rd Trans-South 400. Congratulations.
I have to tell you, I'm a little speechless. To win Darlington means a lot to me, and win like that, I don't know how you can do it much better than that.
A couple of years ago, you showed a tremendous amount of class when you rubbed Jeff Gordon. He was going for $1 million. You guys backed away. He won the $1 million. You said in the garage area, my day will come. My friend, it is here. Congratulations.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun driving that tore up thing in Victory Lane because it's we might have to get a lift gate to get it up on there, but we're going to take it however we can get it. We had a great pit stop, got us in front of everybody. We made the right calls on the car, and that got us the win. And we're having luck right now.
Frankie, congratulations, your first one at Darlington.
Boy, it's sweet. This is for Buddy Parrott. When he was the crew chief, we didn't close the deal, for him at all. And here today, Buddy was on top of the box with me, helping me. And he looked at me and he said, hey, look, what do you think about shortstopping? And I was thinking the same thing. It didn't take much convincing on either one of our parts. And, we came in, the 88 came with us, and then the guys had a great pit stop. And both stops today, we picked up a spot or two both times. Just proud of the XI battery team. And proud of Jeff Burton. That kid drives Darlington as good as anybody that I've ever seen, including David Pearson. And he deserved to win a race here. I'm glad we got it today.
All right, Frankie, go celebrate. Here's Jack Roush. They're all hugging down here. Back to you, Bob.
It's his 7th career win for Jeff Burton, and it comes on a bizarre weekend at Darlington. Here are the results. 12 cars finish on the lead lap. Matt Kenseth, in substitution for Bobby Labonte, brought the 18-car home in 10th place. Rick Mast, Bill Elliott, and all the other of these guys just one lap down through the 30th position. 31 through 43, you see that everybody was running at the end of the race, including Ken Schrader, who was involved in a very early incident. And how about the points? Well, Jeff Burton is now at the top of the point standings, replacing Mike Skinner, who drops to 5th. Jeff Gordon goes to 2nd. Bobby Labonte is now in 3rd position. There's the live celebration. A little less than victory lane that you normally see, but nevertheless, Jeff Burton will take the win. He's now the points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. Stay tuned for golf. Linda Cohn and Judy Rankin will be picking up the coverage of the LPGA in just a moment. Stay with us as we bring you that back from the Deuce over to ESPN. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, go.com. So long, everyone.